Hello.
Hiya! Welcome to a very special episode of Word Up. And I say it's special because it's me and Patri, Sean.
Hello.
Yo, you have it. It's,
Yeah, and we're in a strange location.
and we're in a very strange, undisclosed location.
Poglass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could say we're living life on the edge. You know, we're actually in Mudblood's recording studio because they think they're a bit bougie now and they have their own, don't they? You know what I'm saying? But because I'm going to be away, we didn't want to leave you for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we thought we'll do a wee episode of Word Up here and now and mesh together some funny bits or some bits of conversation that we have had.
Yeah.
Yes. So, also, this is probably the first time that like you've really seen my feet. And I like to call this my moth look because it's half Millie, half goth. Right? Mm-hmm. So on the bottom, it looks like I drop E's and go to raves. And on the top, it looks like I might smoke spliffs and listen to Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
So it's just a wee...
the duality.
Yeah. Yeah. The juxtaposition of two cultures, you know?
Yeah.
Two modes of living.
Subcultures.
Subcultures, yes. I like it.
Yeah.
I have two M words for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the first word, I wanted to like make it big so that you could see it, but we'll just have to put it across the screen if we can, is a fantastic word. In fact, I thought that because I wear black all the time and I'm a bit Mordacious. Look at my nails, by the way, I got them done. Stacey Kelly, girl that does my nails. They're very
nice.
rock and roll, aren't they? Yeah, Curtis said to me, I thought you were going to get like a summery theme because we're going away. And I was like, this is summer. Summer rock, summer roll. But the word for this week is Mordacious. Right?
Mordacious?
Mordacious.
Mordacious and who?
Me? Mordacious.
Not Mordacious and me, love.
I'd never be more dacious than you, darling. All day. You're dacious as fuck. Your dacious are in the sink for 2 weeks. Your dacious have stuff growing on them, for fuck's sake. But Mordacious...
Is there Mordacious in that? I'm fucking sick. I told you to get them done.
I'm fucking sick of you. I'm only after finishing them. Now there's Mordacious. You'll never forget that. Like, do you know that I have...
Mordacious.
Mordacious for me. Mordacious of this delicious stuff. I will never forget, and I have used quite a lot, the word foo-for-all.
Foo-for-all, yeah.
I was actually on the phone to somebody, I think it was like an official kind of person I was talking to. Yes, they interviewed me about something or other, and I had said, like, I didn't want to make a big foo-for-all, you know? And I went, there we go. But in my head, I was like, Scottish Food Bank. Foo-for-all.
Foo-for-all.
Foo-for-all. There's foo-for-all. So Mordacious, right, is someone who is abrasive or someone who uses abrasive language or abrasive words. So, and by abrasive, you know, you mean like a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
But I do use the word abrasive quite a lot because I think it's a good word, like abrasive, to rub someone up the wrong way. So I suppose in a way this is a swear down as well because you can call somebody Mordacious.
Aye. It's a wee bit like blue, you know.
Yeah.
But a bit more, like, there's a bit more meaning.
Yeah.
To it, like, it's more specific than that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, for someone who's a bit crude or like something, you're also blue. Yeah,
like, you know, you could say that I am Mordacious on stage sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, it depends on how you're feeling with audience members.
Is it blue in terms of, like, so the person uses vulgar language, but also it's maybe like mixed in with a bit of confrontational, like...
Yeah, I would say it's more confrontational, like adversarial. Do you know what? I'll get a full-on definition of it, right? Because I pick up wee words whenever I'm reading something or if I'm listening to something, and then I'll, you know, note it for myself in my phone and go, okay, that's a great word. But I usually do look into it and try and get the etymology and stuff. But as the podcast has evolved, I found that sometimes we haven't even got speaking about the word half the time.
Because I'd be interested breaking that up, like Mordacious. Why using that prefix of more?
Oh, this is great, actually. So the formal, right, it's an adjective, a describing word, and it's denoting or using biting, sarcasm, or invective, right, of a person or animal given to biting. Right, so that dog's mordacious. Stay away from it. But then you
My
might.
dog isn't mordacious.
No, it's
He wouldn't
not.
touch you.
He couldn't be less dacious if he tried.
Aye.
Fuck's sake. But
I am fascinated by the way people get on about dogs here.
oh my god.
Like
There are some. Can I just say this? I'm just going to say it. I laughed because there are some people on Facebook that are fighting harder to keep their XL bullies than they did their kids. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, the bully's grand, but are you going to go to a social worker and try and get your kids back, love? You know, like what the fuck is going on here?
I obviously don't do stand up, right? But see, from time to time, like because we be in these wee conversations, like, and again, I like just get wee thoughts into my head and write down ideas for like wee bits that are never gonna see the light of day, you know, but just like ideas for something that I think are funny. And one of them I wrote down was like the fact that people here treat XL bullies the way Americans treat guns.
Yeah. Oh my god, that is actually so true. Like, you'll not take away that's my right to bear arms. You know what I mean? That's my right. He's called bear arms. That's my right to bear arms. You know what I mean? That's my fucking kid.
I have the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
And have his dog.
And have this. I always.
He's just got bear arms going into Botanic on Saturday.
I always think of that episode of Family Guy. You know the way they do like a cutaway thing where it's like, it shows you them all writing, you know, the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
And it goes, this one here, do you think anybody can get confused about it? And it says, no, it says every American citizen has the right to bear arms. And then they look up to the wall and there's just a big set of bear arms on the wall. And it's like, nah, how can anybody confuse that? You know? So, arg. But yes, mendacious, I did look up the etymology there briefly. And it's given to biting.
Or mordacious.
Mordacious. Mendacious was different.
Yes, because mendacious was another word.
Mendacious was another word that we did. But given to biting, from Latin, mordic, stem, biting. Right, so that makes sense. To bite or to rub away harm. Yeah, to harm someone. So I think then that mordacious is basically somewhat a bitchy person.
That's a very hardcore word.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking at that, like someone who like bites you through aggression and sarcasm.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, what a cunt.
Like you can have a biting comment.
It's feels like, you know, like one of those 1950s like old Hollywood actresses.
Yeah, sitting there smoking a cigarette on a cigarette holder.
Yeah, I don't give it that.
Yeah, like it's not the men in your life that count, it's the life in your men. Yeah. Mae West. Yes, Mae West would have been quite mordacious.
Yeah.
You know, she always had an answer for everything. She was like quite bitchy. I loved her. I fucking loved her.
I've only got my exposure to Mae West through Drag Race.
Really?
And people impersonating her.
Yeah, she was kind of like the ultimate. She is that sort of, it was a persona in and of itself, wasn't it? Have you ever met anybody, now that you know about the word mordacious, have you anybody that springs to mind where you're like,
the wee girl that works in the Balligo Martin fucking McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Go. No, always so cheeky.
Yeah.
And you're only going out to get a wee fucking double cheeseburger.
This is an American company. I'm supposed to be happy with this meal.
I had a mordacious cunt.
Yes.
On the phone to me. I was going to play a gig in Cali Sailors on Saturday.
Right.
And beforehand, our Liam, right?
Let me know the next time you're playing Kelly's, by the way.
I will.
Because I enjoy Kelly's.
I think I'm in Kelly's game this Saturday.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm away. But I love going around the Kelly, you know, just because it's a nice pub.
It is lovely.
And if you're playing, it'll be better. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So, natural.
But our Liam has been quite popular and he has he was invited to 3 different parties at the weekend
Really?
there. Yeah. And the baby.
So already getting a better social life than I have.
Me too.
Oh my God.
So I've been facilitating his fucking party life.
Get used to it.
And I was coming away from one of the parties to go play a gig. Left Nicole there, she had the car. And I went to go pick up Matt, and I was going, fuck, I haven't had no lunch, I haven't had no dinner, I'm going to play a gig. I'll maybe grab a chip on the way down. And because I was going down past the fucking Shaw's fucking road.
Shaw's fucking road, yeah.
I went,
that's its full name.
I'll put in that a chippy in there.
Right.
Whatever it's fucking called.
Phillies.
Well, it used to be, and then it was Fry Guys, and then whatever. So I'm calling you out now.
Go for it.
I rung up. I looked up Chippy on the Shaw's Road, and it came up Fry Guys, and I called it, and I was going, I'll be handy to go there because it's on my way to Andytown. I don't have to go.
Phone them and collect it.
I can collect it. I'm not going to be late for the gig again. It's not going to be like I'm going to fucking Andytown and trying to park somewhere on the road and not get anywhere. I was going, this'll be handy to park up and just grab it. Won't be that busy. Rung him up and says, hey, is that Fry Guys? And she was like, Fry Guys closed down 2 days ago. And hung up the phone. I was going, I fucking didn't know.
I'm sorry for your trouble.
I was like, fuck.
You fucking... And then you'd imagine you rang it again and we're like, is this Phillies? Yeah, love.
I think that's what it is. I think it's...
Do you think it's changed its name?
No, I think maybe the call gets redirected to one of the other fucking ones. No, like... So I think it's owned by Phillies or whatever.
Because there's chip companies. There were chip companies, weren't there? So there's a few of those around.
Well, I'm not even sure. But I know that, like, say if you're ringing up our down chip company and they don't answer, then it fucking brings it redirects you sometimes to the
Fry Guys knows it. Well, I'm fucking sorry for your trouble. Can I have a chip anyway? She had a chip on her shoulder.
Exactly. Like, wouldn't that have been better for business to go like, sorry love, we closed down that wee branch here. Do you want to come up to the Boglass one?
Yeah, that's whenever places get cocky. See, whenever places have too much custom and they don't need your custom. They should need your custom. But like, the most infamous place for it was Chung's on the Glen Road. It's not called Chung's anymore. Chung's closed down a year ago. But the woman, it actually got to be a point of hilarity for me because she wouldn't actually say hello Chung's when she answered the phone. She picked it up and went, what do you want? Right? And you just gave her your order and she wouldn't even say cheerio. She'd go...
That's so true.
And put the phone down. And then whenever you went in, there was only 2 phrases you would hear come out of the one big fucker's mouth. And it was, what's yours? Or, at yours.
At yours.
That was it. They wouldn't say hello, goodbye, fuck all. The Chinese people in the back, a Chinese person straight off the boat with no English would probably know more phrases than her.
Yeah. I had the opposite thing where there was a girl that used to work in the chippy around the corner from us, and she was so lovely. She was just had such a wee bubbly personality, got on great with us, and we had like a wee routine of like on a Friday night went round, got our wee Chinese, and but no matter what time we used to call in, she used to say the same thing. She used to go, "Oh, kids are late tonight."
Like actually
5 o'clock.
Yeah. It's early. And
there was one time that we actually were late.
Oh really? And did she say it?
Because we went out somewhere and we came home early and we're like, here, fuck, we'll get Chinese.
Yeah.
And we were stumbling up the road and we were like, here, we'll go in there, Mon here tonight. It's gonna be all biz.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually late tonight. And we were pissing ourselves and we turned around the corner, she's standing there, like outside smoking, so she just heard the whole thing. I was like, oh God.
Just going, think is her fucking funny. Taking the piss out of me.
Oh, and I felt so bad. She was so lovely.
Never mind, you're late tonight. You'll not eat tonight. You bunch of balls.
And the bad thing is, we still had the fucking order. You know what I mean? She's just sitting there like,
that's right, my nightmare.
Chicken curry, fried rice, no veg, huh?
No veg. That's so fun.
You'll be getting veg.
You'd be getting my greeners. There'd be loads of green in there the night for you. Do you know the best one and the most friendly? I would love to meet this woman. If you're out there, come on the podcast. You are my best friend. In fact, she used to work for Grantia, and you would phone up Grantia taxis, and no matter what time of the day, she used to do the night shift as well, and she used to go, hello, Grantia. Like, she was just yes, no problem, love. It would make you, like, say if you were on the verge of, like, suicide, you could phone Grantia taxis, and you'd be like, I might make it through another day. Like, she was fantastic. And one good story is we were having a house party one night in my house, and we were all absolutely drunk, and it was about 4:00 in the morning, and we couldn't remember the lead. This is how old I am. There wasn't this where you could just Google shit. Like, I might have had a BlackBerry, but there was no fucking Wi-Fi. And me and my wee mate, Marion, and Connor Macaulay, who's in a band called New Pagans.
Yeah.
I think he is anyway. If he's not, don't worry about going to see them. But if he is, do go. We were all around the table, and you know, if you have a brain fart moment and you can't remember something that's really obvious, right? So we were like, who was the lead singer of Led Zeppelin? And we all went, what the fuck? And it really bugged me. So I went, do you know what? It wasn't Maureen 118 212. I went, 02890 602 092, Grantia. And she went, hello, Grantia. And I was like, love.
Well,
it's going to sound really weird, right? But just bear with me. Bear arms, right? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you 2 questions, actually? Because that was the first. Who was the lead singer of Led Zeppelin? And she just went, Robert Plant, love. And I went,
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant. He'll be running at your house in about 5 minutes. I was like, thank you so much, you're the fucking best. And she has been like the hero in my life.
Say Grantia's number again, because that fucked with my head.
02890 602 092.
Oh no.
60 20 92.
90 60 20 92.
Oh fuck no, that's weird now. Yeah. Do you know what I did though? Illegal Eagle, right? Eagle was 300 333, right? And I don't mind saying it because it's not my ma's number anymore. But my ma's house number was 300 588, right? And I was really, really drunk one night, and I was like, I can get a taxi home. Hold on. And I rang, and it rang. I went, fucking bastards are going to take all night to come. It's ringing for ages. And the next thing you know, my man answered the phone. I went, Mummy. And she went, what is it, Bronagh? You got me out of bed. And I was like, are you working for Eagle now? And she was going, what the fuck are you talking about, Bronagh? And I was going, I just need a taxi. And she was like, fuck off. And I went, and I hung up, and I went, it was just this most confusing moment where I went, I rang Eagle and my mummy answered. So I rang them again. And she answered the phone and went, see if you fucking come home here tonight, I'm going to knock your bollocks. And I was like, why do you keep answering Eagle's number? Do you know what I was just, this is why I can't drink anymore. My poor mother. She was definitely on my list of people I needed to apologise to whenever I went through the 12 steps. Like, and not just for that, but sure.
Who was it? Somebody told me that their number was very close to like 8 in the morning taxis or something.
Oh, Jesus.
It wasn't that. It was different.
And you can imagine the kind of clientele that's ringing up 8 in the morning taxis. I don't actually want a taxi, mate. I'm just looking you to bring me around a bag of Coke and 6 beer. Do you know what I mean? Stop off and get me 20 Regal filter while you're at it.
Fuck. Have you a swear down?
I do have a swear down, right? My swear down is, I just want to make sure I don't say Mordacious. Oh, I like this. Right, I want to say that I'm saying it properly. A Mediocris.
Right, so the word is Mediocris, but
Mediocris.
But you're saying Mediocris, so it's a noun. Mediocris.
When you think of mediocrity.
Yeah, so someone who
probably say Mediocris.
Someone who's beige.
Yeah.
A basic bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So it is a person with no outstanding qualities or attributes.
Oh, God, how is.
Isn't that?
Oh, that's awful.
That's like, call me anything, just don't call me a Mediocrist.
Oh, there is nothing remotely interesting about you.
Yeah, you know, those people. I think of that scene in American Beauty where it's just like, you called me ordinary. You know, like you don't, you want to be anything but ordinary to you. But have you ever met somebody like that?
Yeah. You know, people when you're around people who are just they think they're having banter, but it's just the shadest crack.
Do you know that's another thing that I have realized? When I stopped drinking, I found that the number of Mediocris that I hang around with
Came to the surf.
Yeah, like because I realised that, see, if you need to have a drink to enjoy somebody's company, then
they're not good company.
They're not good company. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get those people who's, a good example would be of someone who plays Mediocris would be, you know, in Dairy Girls, the uncle.
Yeah.
I gigged with him before. He's called, his name's just completely eluded me.
Ring up your woman from
Ring the woman from Grandchild. Who was it? God, my dad loves him. He's a brilliant comedian.
No, he's like a legendary.
Yeah, and the very fact that we're talking about Mediocris and we can't remember his name, but that's his sort of comedy. He plays on that. You know,
people who are extremely boring.
You know, like
your father. I have a very boring voice.
Yes,
you know your mom,
like,
father, Ted.
That's right. Yeah, I just have a very boring voice, Ted. Like,
did you say you needed someone with a dramatic voice? No, he said he needed someone with a boring voice.
Like, have you ever seen celebrities read out mean tweets?
Yeah,
I love that. Right, and David Blaine had to read out this tweet. And it was just perfect because it said, David Blaine's face looks like his voice has put it to sleep. And he like looks up and it is his voice as well. You're just going, that's why he learned magic. Like he learned how to do magic because he'd fuck all else really going.
Keir Starmer.
It's
a Mediocris.
Do you think so? Yeah. Do you think so?
Well, that's the criticism he's had, isn't it? That he's like quite boring.
Well, yeah. I don't actually know if he is.
I'd rather a boring cunt
than a greedy cunt.
That's it.
But he
could be both.
He could be both. But I think, do you know what gives me hope? Right. Here, he dropped his sir for a start. So there's daddy issues there too. They still referred to him as Sir Keir whenever I was reading something, or Sir, and I went, no, that's wrong. He gave up his title. It was a hereditary title. And okay, you can say,
really?
Yeah, it was a hereditary title.
So his dad was a sir. So then that makes sense. Is that the way it works?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some hereditary titles that just pass down.
Right.
So he, if I'm not wrong, he had to like surrender his title to become a member of the Labour Party.
So I'm imagining some like British noblemen, you know, like having illegitimate kids.
Yeah.
And them running about going like, I'm Sir Janty. I don't know my dad.
Yeah.
But I know he's a knight.
He's definitely a knight because my ma says he showed up one night and he never fucking came back again.
Medieval England's like, where's my mummy? Where to see a knight about it?
Way to see a man about a night. Yeah. Was he on a horse? Yeah, my mummy said he was definitely on the horse. Which is street slang for heroin, folks.
And he was hung like a horse.
He was hung like a horse.
I don't know what that means.
I don't. Why do people hang horses anyway? That's not very nice. But yeah, so he is a bit interesting. In fact, he recently he employed his cabinet. I think that the person for like prison reform actually was the head of prison reform. Like he's putting people in the jobs who have experience in that field.
Imagine
that. So he might know what he's doing. Who fucking knows?
Hopefully a Secretary of State for Northern Ireland that has been here Northern Ireland before.
Maybe even visited. Like can't be too sure. But
yeah, I know it's a big ask. But
yeah, but you know, it would be a start.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, their baptism literally by fire should be to attend the 11th night celebrations. And once they've done that, then you're all right. You're good to go. Give us your opinion on it. You know, that'll do rightly. drink a barrack buster with Billy Bunter, and play a skin flute, and then come and tell us how we should manage the government.
Yeah.
I'll watch that shit all day long. But yes, enough about the politics, because we're all politicked out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Nobody really gives a fuck. Politics, now, if you want to know the etymology of that word, poly means many, and ticks are blood-sucking insects. So that's what politics means. Many blood-suckers. Yeah.
Yep.
All day long. But yes, we are going to leave it there, because from here, you're going to get a wee mishmash of stuff that we have done. And is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You're sweet. So will you cut this off where I'm saying is that cool and stuff? I'm happy with that. Like, I am happy with that. Enjoy your holidays. Right now, while you're watching this, I am probably having a nervous breakdown in Butlins, running after children.
I'm speaking the future, Bronagh. Like, Bronagh has Butlins.
Butlins is fantastic because I have run away with one of the red coats. The red coats are coming. The red coats are coming. We have air tagged the kids, literally.
Really?
Yep, we have little bands.
Fucking hell.
With air tags.
That's amazing.
I ain't taking no risks with my babies. So they all have wee bands with air tags.
Fucking imagine that Matt and McCann's man that had done it.
Had it done that. I know. If only Apple AirTag was out in 2006. And we mightn't be here today. That actually is quite sad. But yes, I've AirTagged the kids. They're all on the phone, which I actually found them the other day. I was in the town at a meeting, and I didn't have my car with me because I let Kurt have the car because he had the kids. And I went, I wonder where they are. And I had just walked into Primark to sort of grab a few like t-shirts and stuff. And whenever I looked, I was like, they were all in Primark. And I was able to go around with the phone, and I found the kids and Kurt, and I was like, hi. In fact, he was looking at something, and I was like, I don't think your wife will like that. And he went, I was like, fucking me, what are they? Just found tracking device all day long. So,
that's it.
Yeah.
Put it in Kurt's toolbox.
I put it in Kurt's toolbox all day.
Make sure he's not putting the tools anywhere else.
Make sure he's behaving himself. I love that. Actually, very good. No, I make him wear a GoPro on his head, so he just walks about all day, and I can just see what he's doing. I actually would love that, because he goes into that. Now, don't get me wrong, he meets some of the loveliest people in some lovely houses, but I couldn't do his job. He goes into some absolutely stinking, minging houses, like dog shit everywhere. People just sitting there.
You just love to watch a live stream of it.
I would just, yeah.
Cozy in the house.
Yeah, just like, minging.
I would love to have that
Big
as
brother.
well, because like, I was telling you about like one of the young people I used to work with, and I used to come home to like Nicole and tell her all the stories about all the funny things that happened. Like, I'd love to be able to live stream my day, so that like I could be like, then go back and just recap to just see when that fucking happened.
Yeah, like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
I actually used to have one of those wee things on my car that records as you're driving.
The dice cam.
And I was on my way to a gig before in the Pavilion, and I pulled up.
She's turning left on West.
She's turned left, but there was a guy that was being chased by cops up the road. And he was like running, and his belly was out. He was like wearing this t-shirt that had rolled up his belly, and he was running like fuck. And it was one of those moments where I hit the wee button on my car to lock the doors, but he went right up to my bonnet and like, like down the bonnet, and I was like, go away. And then he ran on, and as soon as it happened, I just hit the button, to like make sure it saved that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I need to watch that again someday. That was fucking brilliant.
Oh, amazing. You should put that up. That would have been a fucking
viral
clip.
I should actually find the wee camera, because it'll still be on there, hopefully. If I ever die, whoever goes through my stuff is going to find some mad things.
Have you ever watched Black Mirror?
Yes.
Do you ever see the one where they've got like the wee chip in their eye where they can record everything?
I think about this all the time. Would you want one of those?
Yeah, I think I would. Mm-hmm. Like, even though it tells you about the dangers of it, I would love that. I know we basically have it with our phones, but see, like like they actually have that point of view, like they capture like moments, like see Liam's like, even though like that's burned into your mind, like the moment he was born, things like that, to be able to actually see it again in front of your eyes would be
to
beautiful.
experience it. But then you can do that thing where you would ruminate on things way too much. You would overanalyze.
You go back, yeah, like fuck. I was an awkward bastard. Like when I was talking to them earlier, and then you go over it, and then you watch it again. You go, oh, and cringe to yourself.
But then I think it might actually be helpful, because there's times where I wonder, I am really susceptible to picking up on people's, like, you know, like we micro gestures and stuff and vibes, and sometimes that'll make me have a certain feeling about how an interaction went. But I think if you can walk away from that and then replay it, you would look and go, that's actually fine. You know, do you know what is a brilliant movie recommendation? If you haven't seen it, watch it, right? It's called About Time. It's not the Justin Timberlake one. It's is it Bill Nye?
Bill Nye the Science Guy?
No. What he's called? Nye. I'll tell you who it is. Was I talking about this last week already? No?
I don't think so.
Right, well, I need to tell you.
You got it. But have you mentioned the Truman Show? Did you ever have the complex that you thought you were like a Truman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had.
I felt like that before I'd ever even watched the Truman Show.
It is Bill Nye. But yes, see the Truman Show as a kid. Now, before I'd ever seen the Truman Show, as a kid, I used to have this thing. I suppose there's a Catholic guilt thing there because God's watching. But I used to like do things and think that like everybody could see me doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
there was like a big conspiracy that like, you know, like that I don't know about because I'm a kid.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
like everyone's like always watching. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And this is going to sound really pathetic, but I, as a kid, this is going to sound terrible. I didn't know where my daddy was, right? So I used to think that he was watching. So sometimes I would do things and I would be like, he's watching that, like right now. What if he can see me? Do you know what I mean? Okay. So I used to like, yeah, it's a bit tragic whenever you think about it. But yeah, and then I used to watch films, and you know the way like whenever you're too young to actually fancy somebody, so you don't know what that is whenever you like really like a person in a film. So I used to watch, if I saw like a man that was really nice in a film, I always used to want him to be my daddy.
That's your Nicole's mummy. You used to tell her like when Robbie Williams came on the TV, it'd be like, "How's your dad?"
How's your dad?
She used to be like, "Buddy, her dad was Robbie Williams."
My real daddy's Robbie Williams. I used to be jealous of, you know, 3 Men and a Little Lady. I used to watch that film all the time and I loved it. But I was so jealous because she had 3 daddies. I was like, she has fucking 3.
I can't get one.
I can't even get one. Greedy bitch. But yes, About Time is this movie. I won't spoil it for you or anything, but essentially it's very well written. It's not big special effects. It's not big bangs and explosions. The story, and I love a story that just gets right to the meat of the story right away. So there's this actor there's this character, Donald Gleeson.
I love Donald Gleeson.
Donald Gleeson, who's Brendan Gleeson's son. He plays Tim, and Rachel McAdams is in it as well. So Tim comes down one day, and his dad says,
"About Tim."
Bill Nye says, "About Tim." About Tim. I've read enough. I never thought about that. Time, yeah.
He's a Tim traveller.
About Tim. He's a Tim traveller. He is a Tim traveller. So his dad says to him, right, you're 21 now. I need to tell you something. All the men in our family have the ability to go back in time to any place that we have been before. All you have to do is go into a dark room, squeeze your fists and close your eyes, and you can go back. And he's like, yeah, Dad. Doesn't believe him. Then he does it. And he realises that he can go back in any point in time, like to where he was, you know. So,
for how long?
For however long he wants, and then he can and come back to the present. So it's
the only downside is that he shit himself from all the squeezing.
Oh no, I have a turd in my pants and I'm back in 1998 in my classroom and everybody can smell it, so my life's ruined. But yeah, so the adventures go on. But his dad gave him a piece of advice, and it was go back and live each day again. So do each day, right? Do your day as you would normally do it. And then when you go to bed that night and you wake up the next morning, go back and relive the previous day, right? So he does it. He's a lawyer, and it just shows you this little thing of him. And what he does basically is he just goes back and lives the previous day, but he doesn't have any of the stress because he knows how everything turns out that previous day. And regardless of whether or not it was a bad result or a good result, the stress isn't there.
Yeah, it is.
So he's like, and he enjoys, and he has his little kids, you know, and he tends to then come home in a really good mood. And his wife's like, oh, so you had a good day, even if it was stressful. He's like, so he's living each day purposefully. And then toward the end of the movie, he's like, I don't do that anymore because I don't need to. Because now, whenever I'm living in the day, it's as if I'm living it for the second time. You know, I'm taking it all in. So yeah, I rang my ma. So basically,
it's loving each day as if it's the last, dancing all night and
having a blast,
baby. I want you right here next to me.
Oh my god, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like what we were talking about with the episode of Black Mirror. You know, I'd be reliving each thing and going, that was okay. You know, it's all right. So I am trying to be more present and more mindful. And you find that whenever you have kids, don't you? Like you're looking at Liam and you're thinking, I'm not going to have like this moment in and of itself. You only get to borrow your babies for a wee while because they grow up, and then that person, that wee baby that you used to have, isn't there anymore.
You feel the responsibility of every interaction because you go for like everything feels so important because like, you know, you're looking at, and for one, there's the personal thing of like, I want to like experience every part of this wee moment where you've looked up at me and smiled.
Yeah.
I also feel the responsibility of going, I need to respond to you in a way that teaches you like that, like I'm rewarding you for this wee interaction and I want to try and express and communicate love to you, but also like, you know, all these different things. Your brain works so hard. Yeah. Like, just like just by looking back at him and smiling. You know what I mean? And you're smiling like.
You're smiling with all this intention, and the child's going, I think my daddy's having a shit.
He's just going back in time.
He's just gone back in time to do it again. But there is a beautiful part in that movie. And more than it being a love story or anything, for me, it's a story about a father-son relationship.
Don't.
And Jesus, the daddy issues are. I love my daddy. I'm very close with my daddy, you know, and he's brilliant and he looks after my kids and all, and we have a great relationship. And whenever I was watching it, I was like, I don't know what I'm ever going to do if anything happens to my daddy. And this was my second time watching it, and I was just looking at Curtis like, I can't cope. Turn it off. It's making me feel too much. But yeah, do watch it. Do watch it. So you have to go and get, that's reminded you that you have to go and get milk for the baby. And thank you all, and we'll see you next week.